with the fact that I don't really need Sass and React. So I've been using React and Angular for a while. And in the Angular world anyway, Sass is kind of like the standard. If you use the Angular command line, it just comes with, or it's highly recommended, etc. And it's cool. It lets you share variables and like even entire style sheets. You might want to share between a couple components, like a hefty chunk of CSS. So shifting over into React, I'm like looking at the frameworks, Gatsby, Next, what have you, and I'm like, nobody is really supporting this out of the box. And there are ways to add it, but in particular, if you want to use TypeScript, which I do, it becomes really cumbersome. At the end of the day, it actually it is problematic if you want a dynamic theme specifically. So this is a dynamic theme. Boom, light, dark, on click. That's a change on the client. We didn't have to hit the server. It's a really cool feature. It allows your user to kind of customize the look and feel of the app. So if you want that theme, feature, then you're going to need JavaScript parameterization of style attributes. And so if you're going to do that, Sass becomes really unworkable. Because the Sass is like usually implemented as a build step. In principle, you could recompile Sass on the client. I see very little support for this pattern. I imagine it is likely to conflict with the rest of your React app, and I can't imagine that it's very performant. So it's extremely performant. It's snappy, right? And if it like took a long time, there would be like an unpleasant user experience. So for that reason, I'm pretty much cool with CSS-in-JS, and there's some other reasons I'm cool with it too. One is static rendering is like a best practice anyway. If you are server-side rendering your application, even if it's CSS-in-JS, it will be transformed into CSS when the client gets it anyway. So the argument that style needs to be CSS for performance reasons on the client device, it doesn't penalize CSS-in-JS if you're using a server-rendered approach, and like I intend to be using a server-rendered approach, and I think you should too, SEO reasons and a bunch of other reasons. Performance. So that's one, and then is the performance argument doesn't weigh much, and the other is like the developer tooling of Sass. The ability to share and mixin and things like that can be done in JavaScript anyway. You can import and export string fragments in your front-end code, and you essentially get the same net effect. So all these things considered, if I'm in a React application, then I am fine. This is my statement that I'm pretty much fine avoiding Sass if I'm in a React application and I want a dynamic theme. If I don't want a dynamic theme, maybe I do want Sass. Maybe. But in any case, in this application you see in front of you, and that link will be in the description, I do want a dynamic theme, and that kind of seals the deal for me. So that's the point of this.